So for this video, I'm going to show you a partial highlight basic application, and I'm going to show you that I start my partials a little bit lower or about right on the crown, so that when the hair splits you don't see too many dark hairs, especially for your heavier blonder clients. You want to start a little lower. So I'm going to show you actually in this application where we're going to take the section about a 1/2 inch to 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to dig through the entire section. So you're not just going across the top of it, you're going all the way to the scalp. So I've got this pulled apart and get my foil ready, and if you see, when you hold tension, if you see you have extra hairs, you can just kind of pop those back out as they're not needed. Get your foil ready. I fold across the top away from me. There's my fold, and then just lay it in right at the scalp. You can go ahead and give a little push down on the foil to get her ready. And then you're going to go ahead and get your product on the brush. You don't want to go right up to the hairline, the foil line, right in the very beginning. Work your color or bleach. This happens to be bleach. I like Keune bleach, Keune bleach. It's called cream bleach. And now once you get it all applied, you can go up to your foil line as close as you'd like to. And here I'm just showing you where this is, you might need to hold on to it and go ahead and get right back up into it. So this is going to give you from the roots. You're not going to be away from the roots where it looks like it's already grown out. I've got the brush turned on an angle and just kind of making sure that's filled in up there. You're going to give the foil a fold, and then you're going to flip it right back up. What I like to do is hold that foil up and push that little flap down. And what you'll see me demonstrate is right here, you're going to pull those hairs down so they're inside the foil. It's not pulling off the product. I'm not pulling off the bleach from the hair when you see me swiping it down. It's just pushing those hairs back down because they get a little loose because of the round of the head. So I'm going to be demonstrating this to you a few times, so no worries if you're not quite getting a hang of it. And when you get comfortable with doing this, you'll be zipping in and out. You won't be this slow. I'm just, for demonstration purposes, I want to show you exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to get ready to get the next section coming down. And it's going to be about a 1/2 inch wide section. And in this case, I'm going to show you how you can take your section and then split it in half again. Because you want to weave from the top of the section all the way to the scalp. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. Just kind of cleaning this up here. You do want to be as accurate as you can, and once you get quicker you will. So see, I'm taking that section now in half so that some of that hair will be left out. And you see where my comb is pointing, you're going to go from up and down right to the scalp. So you're actually weaving right through the entire section. So when you see this pulled up, that's the entire section. So this is going to give a little bit of a, like I said, a little bit more of a pop to the highlight. Get our foil in, prepared. And you're going to go ahead and you can press the foils down when they're close to the scalp. You're going to start your bleach about 1/4 to 1/2 inch away from that line, only because we're preparing the full length. Notice how I keep the hairs evenly down and distributed, but when you are applying to this much hair, you want to make sure it's all over all the strands. So give a little lift, make sure it's passed all the way through, and then go ahead and work it into the foil. Now I just got the brush turned on an angle, making sure I get each of those pieces close to the scalp so that you don't look like you're already grown out. Fold up that foil, give a little press, push that flap down again. You'll notice on the corners, you'll see those hairs starting to pop up. Push the foil down and get those hairs back into the foil. We're going to turn it on its side just so I can show you another peek. Because if you're a beginning hairstylist and you want to see foiling, this is about as beginner as it gets. So I wanted to show you any tips and tricks that I have. Again, we're going to go about another 1/2 inch section. And as you get more experienced, you can do all sorts of foil techniques, and I'll be able to show you those in future videos. But for today, this is a basic 1/2 inch section foil, evenly distributed. I went ahead and divided it out. You're going to take your comb right from there, and you want to bounce in and out evenly all the way through. As you get more experience, your lines will be more even. Your weaving sections will be more even and uniform. And uniform is depending on the style you're going for. So in this particular case, I wanted an even 50-50 kind of weave. Again, getting my cream bleach. I think I mixed 30 volume for the head. The mannequin heads don't get very light. They get light evenly, but they don't get exceptionally light. Again, you want to make sure the product is distributed. You don't want to open up a foil and find out you have a big brown chunk left there. And incidentally, you really don't want to squeeze the foils. It may look like on this fold that I'm going to go ahead and squeeze, but actually you're not. You're going to gently just press in. And you're going to look for those little guys on the edges, because your clients are going to notice if you get close to the scalp or not with their highlighting. And if they're paying good money, they want to make sure that they don't have regrowth the minute they walked out of the salon. Now I'm going to turn it on its side for those of you that really want to see that whole what am I doing here. You're going to notice a little bit of lift up. So we push that little tab down and get that right in there. Just give it a little turn to pull her in. And on the other side, like I said, when you get some speed to you, you'll be able to flip around and do this very quick. You're going to go ahead and push that little tab up. And then those 2 or 3 hairs are a little crooked, so I'm going to give those a little push down. Again, you're not wiping off the product. If you do, you need to put some back. And I'm just going to go ahead and get some more parted out here, because I know when you're a beginner hairstylist, you like to see as much detail as you can and hear about as much detail as you can. So again, you have your section. Now I'm not dividing this one in half. So what you do mentally, you figure out where half of that section is, where you saw the little point of my tail comb starting. So this is just without dividing that section in half, but still taking the same amount of dig or bite, as I call it. And I'm probably going to have one more, maybe 2 more sections to go ahead and show you this. You're more than welcome to divide that section out, but as you gain speed and consistency and experience, you'll be able to leave that section fully intact, but still only go in as if you divided it in half. Fold that up, give a little push down on your tab. And some folks may say that closing up the foil packets is not necessary, or that it doesn't allow the color to process. I assure you it does. One of the reasons why I fold foils in this particular manner is because I do a lot of color in between foils and foils in between foils, and I'll be demonstrating that to you on another video for low lighting. So if that interests you, you look for that video on my channel. So with these little tabs just lightly closed, you have the flexibility to lift these foils up, and they stay pretty well intact. So we're going to take that next section again. She should be 1/2 to a 3/4 of an inch section. And at this point, I'm just going to show you, if you watch right here, I'm not going to divide that section in half like I did the first few examples. But now we know how much we want to dig. That we're just going to go ahead and lift that whole section up. But I'm going to show you, you don't dig the whole way down. Oh, I guess I did change my mind. See, you just lift in, and you're actually digging in half of the section. So I'm pretty certain I'm making that clear. If you dug in that whole entire section, those would be some pretty chunky highlights. But practice, have fun, try. That's what mannequin heads are for. Press down your edges, get your product about a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch from the little foil line. Get your product evenly distributed throughout. And a foil and technique like this is really good for a dark blonde, natural level, going with light blonde highlights. This technique, you'll see the finished product prior to her being toned, which doesn't look that great, but it's just for demonstration purposes. In a future video I will tone her hair and show you a few different variations. But right now we're just showing you how to get your foils in tight up to the scalp so your clients don't feel like they have regrowth the minute they left. And if for some odd reason you find you get a little bleach on your client's scalp, just lift the foil up and clean it off. Now here's the finished look. Foils are out. I don't know how long she processed. Just the mannequin head, but usually you watch your clients. You get a feel for it after a while. Take it up to the level of lightness that you desire. And shampoo. And here's the finished look. It's a pretty chunky look. If it were on a natural level 7 and going to a light level 10, this would be beautiful. I think the mannequin head is a level somewhere as close to a 5, and I believe this came up to an 8. If you don't know your level systems, it would be a super duper great idea to either get a swatch ring or a card ring, know your underlying pigments and your levels of lightness so you can be successful at any hair coloring that you do. And remember, it's best to tone 2 or less levels away. 2 or more you may have to fill. If you don't know what filling is, look it up in your beauty school book. And I'll do a video on that in the future as well. So here she is. I'm showing you a little low lighting I did. And you can look for that in a different video. If you have any questions, please post them. I'll do my best to answer them. But get your mannequin out and have a good time. Thanks, guys.